So the third thing that I want us to move to with this thought is, what is a feeling and what's a condition? A lot of times people mix those two up. If you have a condition called depression, what that means to me when you walk in my office is that if you're a man, you need to cry, you need to share your sadness, you need to share your disappointment and not feel that old message, which Tammy's going to talk about here in a minute. Big boys don't cry. Humans cry. Machines don't cry. So we need to get that cleared up in our minds that many times what causes a man to be depressed is an opposite emotion that he's been taught he cannot feel, or he cannot share that sadness and cry. And many times as women, we're called ugly, negative words if we show anger. So a lot of times we have this embarrassment, rejection. It causes shame. Years, or a lot of authors in their work will call it shame cores, shame centers. All that means is that you came from a background of constant embarrassment, rejection, belittling, emotional abuse, physical abuse, and of course sexual abuse would fall into that category. Guilt will also cause you to have a lot of shame. In the guilt, and Tammy mentioned this in the intro today, is that if I want to ask you a question and give you a chance to answer, I will ask you, Paul, can you do this? And then you can say to me, no, I can't. But if I want to manipulate you into that, I will say, if you don't do this, the whole world's going to fall apart. I'm going to use fear. Or, you know, I've always been there for you. Obligation. So what I'm doing is I have an issue and I'm going to manipulate you into the answer that I want in the fear, obligation, and guilt. And that's why this guilt, if a child is raised in the fear, raised in the obligation, raised in that guilt, they are going to feel shame, like they were always inadequate, they never measured up, and they are worth less than something. Sometimes that's alcohol, drugs, sex, food. It can be so many things.